Hello, hello. This is Anthony again, otherwise known as CoolKvothe, and I just want to welcome you back. Got another episode of Hearthstone coming up here for you. And what we're going to do now is we're still going to play ranked, but I think we're going to try out a different deck every time just to kind of see how it fares as we journey our way up or potentially down the ranks. The first time we played Legendary, of course, I've mentioned that this is probably my best deck, and I'm not going to play it again today. I think that we should get back to that eventually if that's the only deck that's working for us. We did play a little bit of the Warlock last time, and I like that, but I'm going to try out another deck and just kind of keep going down the line. And some of these decks are definitely better than others. Some of them are definitely worse. But I kind of want to try out the newest deck that I've built, which is my Rogue deck. Now, the name Coincidence is actually just a play on the fact that people are making a lot of Miracle Rogue decks, and this is not a Miracle Rogue deck. So I think this is the way that Rogue probably should be played. I think it's smarter to play it in this manner. Miracle Rogue is fun. If you get that combo, great. That's, you win in some spectacular way and do like 30 damage and draw like 50 cards. But if you don't get it, it's kind of stupid. So I prefer to bank on coincidence only, or in this case luck, or in this case skill, and have something to consistently bank on. So I'm going to go with this. This is just a basic trading rogue deck that has takes advantage of some combos and also has a lot of the basic rogue cards in it. So hopefully this will work out for us. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more straightforward than the average deck that I've been playing so far. But we'll see how it goes.
Job's done.
So initially, of course, we have nothing we can play, so I'm going to end my turn and see what he wants to do. What we will do as well is I'm just going to quickly turn on some more radio. Brought to you once again by iTunes Music. And hopefully that'll keep us entertained, at least until we go into the game here. So I'm going to, excuse me, follow up with some Loot Hoarder play here. He's pretty much my staple draw card in all my decks. Before they nerfed the Novice Engineer, which was a 1-2 before, I used to think that deck was far superior. You'd play it, and it would, you'd have the instant card draw, but now that it's a 1-1, I find it kind of useless, to be completely honest with you. It's no better than Loot Hoarder. You get the card more immediately, I suppose, but you don't get the 2 damage potential, and it's still killable instantly. So I think that was actually a bad nerf for it. I mean, it did really hurt it badly. Now, here we have a little bit of a dilemma. They obviously have no cards out right now, which is good. He's kind of hovering on one, so I'm not really sure if that's a good sign. But I could play Pagel. I think it's unlikely they'll be able to kill it next turn, which means I'll have at least one chance to draw with him. If I do that, though, I'm not going to have an opportunity to actually attack or play one of these better minions. But it may be the best opportunity we have to actually use him. So I'm going to try Pagel. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about Nat Pagel as a card these days. Originally, when he first came out, I thought he was excellent. That was when, at the end of the turn, you were able to get a 50% chance to draw. Now, you don't get that anymore. At the end of the turn, you get nothing. It happens at the beginning of the next turn. So, in this case, oh great, I played him 2 mana, I get a draw card. Worked out. But a lot of times, what happens is, he just gets killed, and then you don't get any draws at all, or he won't draw the next turn, and then he'll get killed that turn. So, it can be tough to play him now, but it seems to be working out right now, so we'll go with it. Now, he still doesn't have any minions, so that's why I hesitate to start dishing out lots of minions and things like that. If I play this, I don't have anything else to play. That'll be the only move I make this turn. I could make him Super Pagel and give him +1/+1. Which I think I'm going to do because it'll at least give me something to add to my board here with this 3/2 Sunfire Cleric. It may not be the best move of all time, but I think it's better than doing essentially nothing, which is just what Dagger Mastery would do, so. Okay, so he's going to use Claw to take out that minion. I think he's probably just looking at it saying maybe it's probably not a good idea to have a 3/2 out there when I have a 3/6 taunt. Now, that actually was a really, really good card for us. Because this deck thrives on these combo cards. And before, I had no way to kill this guy without blowing my Assassinate, which is pretty much an all-purpose card to kill any minion. I don't like using it on 3/6 taunts. I can still kill it now, though. The only question is, should I? If I play Backstab, which is probably the most likely move in either case, then he'll be down to a 3/4, which means that I'll have to, make up 4 damage somehow. Then the next thing I could do, I'll still have 5 mana at that point, is I could play SI7 Agent, which would do 2 damage more to him, making him a 3/2, and then I would have 2 mana left. I could attack with Pagel and myself, which I think is probably the best damage, to save Eviscerate. Let's try that. I'm going to try this. 2 damage. Then this.
Ha, this guy's toast. Howdy.
So attack with Super Pagel, and then we'll attack with him. Get rid of Fend Creeper and save Eviscerate, which is probably one of the better cards in the rulebook as well, and save Assassinate. So I think we did that in the best possible trade way possible, and now we still have our Pagel out there, who has been an absolute champ for us, getting both damage and 2 draws, and we have a 3/3, so we'll see what he can do with it. Okay, so that's not a good sign. Iron Bark Protector. Okay, that easily could have been worse, and oh my god, Pagel has been absolutely amazing. He is every single turn. So how do we want to deal with this? So we could finally admit to ourselves that we need to assassinate this thing. And that wouldn't be the worst move in the world, because he's an 8/8 with Taunt. I imagine he's going to have better cards in his deck, but at the 6 mana stage, it may not be, there might not be a better time to play it. I could play Bloodmage Thalnos, give me +1 spell damage, and then play Eviscerate. I'd have 2 mana left after that, and that would do, at that point, 5 damage. No, that's actually the best play. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to do 5 damage combo.
Hey,
Attack
lights out.
to take him down. We will then summon Loot Hoarder, attack with Super Pagel, and attack with our dagger. And now, as you can see, this deck is really good at trading. Now, we're both sitting at 5, at an even 5 cards. I do have Sprint in my card hand, which means that next turn, at earliest, I could potentially draw 4 cards, but what I also have is Board Control. Every turn I seem to be gaining 1 more board card. And he's finally going to get rid of Super Pagel. I think he realized that he's being too much of a help to me, and probably would be a good idea to get rid of as soon as possible. So that's a smart move by him. This is kind of a key point. I don't know exactly what I should do here. If I could get rid of him, that may be the best possible method. I'm thinking about honestly wasting this, giving these guys both +1/+1, which is I'd have 3 and 2, killing both, get 2 card draws out of it. And then I still have 3 mana to probably summon my Harvest Golem, so I'm thinking that might be the best move, even though I'm actually wasting the taunt. So if I actually need the taunts later, I won't have them, which would not be good. But I honestly think that's the best play, because now I can summon Harvest Golem. I still have a 2 minion advantage over him. He has 3 cards left in his hand instead of 5. He's lost one of his 4 or 5 minions, which is one of his probably better minions that he has. And I have actually a 2-card advantage, 2-card advantage over him, so. And I have all my best cards yet to come, so. Alright, so he uses Frost Element, so I'm guessing he's getting down to his best cards as well. Now, I can't remember the last time I've actually had a Frost Elemental card in a Druid deck, so I give him a lot of props for, just kind of using whatever cards you like. It may not be the best move, to be honest with you, but I give him a lot of credit. It's definitely, I like to see it. I'll just say that. Alright. So I'm thinking we just dump Ragnaros here, see where it goes. And I'll attack the 2. And he's either going to take out the Frost minion or do 8 damage directly to the Druid. In this case, it's going to be the Druid. So now he's got to be sweating a little bit. I have, a good potential to get, with the spell damage +1, 5 damage to him just from that. And Ragnaros is still not dead, so he has to deal with Ragnaros. I have 4 more damage on the board here. We're getting to that point where he needs to start thinking of something.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
So Ogre Magi. Alright, so the Death Rattles are good. That's actually a really good card for him right now, the way it is. So now, it might be best to think. So if I destroy one of them with Ragnaros, of course, they're going to get, you know, a bunch of minions to play with. I'm thinking Azure Drake might be the best initial play. Then we can eviscerate him. Which is going to give him taunt, which is going to give him a death rattle that I can kill with him. And then we can summon a dagger for our last piece. Attack directly, and if he attacks directly, that would be ideal. So he has a 2, but that's fine. This game is basically won unless he has a really good card left to come here. With 26 to 14, I have obviously a lot of really good cards here in my hand already. Alright, so he's going to swipe, which is good for him. But he still has to get rid of Ragnaros if he wants to get him. So that's going to be his challenge. Alright, that's going to be a good stall card. Okay, so maybe he's still in this, but he still hasn't found a way, found a way to get rid of Rag, so... Alright, so I'm thinking this is the turn we play Van Cleef. What we can do, I'm thinking, is we're going to Deadly Poison. That's going to be 1. So just going to play that, start, get that out of the way. And we can attack
Here
with it,
we
fine.
go.
So then that's it for the dagger. I play Fan of Knives, which is a waste, but it's going to allow me to draw a card, keep the play going. We could start by playing
We must
Sunfire
cleanse
Cleric.
the Sunwell.
And then we can pop our like 8/8 Van
Brotherhood
here
shall come.
to be an absolute beast, and just one more thorn in his side. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I think that he's going to be in tough shape right now to be able to deal with an 8/8 and a 9/8 all at the same time.
Are you ready for this? Well played.
Well played.
Alright, so I understand where his deck went wrong, and it could be a little presumptuous to say this, but I think that he's making a key mistake in the fact that he has a lot of spell damage cards, which is okay for Druid if you have the cards to go along with it, but he doesn't seem to have a lot of cards that are actually catered towards that. Like, if you have a spell damage deck and you have all those Ogre Magi and Archmage and things like that, you need to have all of their, 3 damage, 1 damage, those things in there. And it almost seems like he doesn't. He had, most likely he probably had Wrath in there, but I didn't see a single, Moonbeam or whatever they're called, the Moonfall or Starfall, any of those in there the entire time that we played. And I think that it's possible that he got bad draws, but even then, we were down to like 10 cards apiece maybe at the end of that game, and we're still looking at all minions and no damage. So I don't know if maybe he just got unlucky there, but I think it's pretty fair to say that there's something missing from that deck there. So that was pretty quick. So I'm actually going to play one more, and hopefully it won't be too long for us here. And I think we're going to stick with the Rogue just to kind of make it even, and so I don't have to think too much about it. And we did sort of well with him last time, so hopefully we can get to level 18 with the bonus stars from the consecutive wins. Alright, so it's taking its time finding somebody, but hopefully we'll find another match that's winnable. Now, the Rogue in that specific scenario looked like it was like the greatest deck of all time, and it really isn't. I feel like a lot of people underestimate the Rogue because it's so straightforward when played the way I'm doing it. Like, they think that they're going to be looking for Miracle Rogue, or they think they're going to have a spell damage rogue deck where they have, you know, tricks and things like that. My rogue deck is just pure trading. It is like it's like the closest thing to a beatdown deck that a rogue deck can have. All I do is I have a couple main combos, you know, like the initial, you know, maybe the coin into the Defiance Ringleader or something like that. And then other than that, it's just trading. That's all the entire deck is. And I'm actually happy with this hand outside of Fan of Knives. I think I'm going to just let that one go and Eviscerate. Okay, so that's not really that much better for the early game, but it's okay, so I'll keep it. Alright, so Deadly Poison is also going to be good at the beginning here, so hopefully we can keep this Hunter at bay. Leopard Gnome, okay. So yeah, we're going to actually be using our dagger more. Last time we didn't use it too much till like after the game was already kind of underway. That's not how I really want to use the dagger, it's just the way it kind of turned out. So we're going to throw the dagger right now. I'm going to take him out, and I'm going to take 4 damage from this, but it's worth it because against Hunters you're going to need to get that initial control. And I have no way to get rid of it without losing damage anyway in the whole deck, so one way or the other I'm taking that damage. So, probably not a bad move on his part because one way or the other, he's going to get that you know, initial control. But now we're kind of in a position here. If I play Deadly Poison, you know, I'm going to get a 3/1 dagger, which is, you know, great. But then after that, I'm not going to have, you know, a dagger anymore, and I'm only going to get the 1 hit out of it. But if I play the Deadly Poison, then I can play Defiance and get 2 minions out of it, which may not be bad. So it's I'm kind of on the fence, but I think that I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to play Deadly Poison, and then I'm going to play Defiance Ringleader.
Yeah,
But I'm not going to attack with this yet. I'm going to use this for Crowd Control later. And I have 1 more Deadly Poison that if I need it, I can use it. So I'm going to sacrifice the damage on this turn, and hopefully... Alright, so he's got secrets now, so that maybe this is not a Rush Hunter, which is very, very rare. 90% of competitive Hunter decks are Rush decks. So, obviously, I'm not going to do anything until I actually attack, until I find out what this thing is. I'm guessing it's an explosive trap, which I don't like the concept of, but I have really no way around it. So I'm just going to attack, and hopefully it's not, but if it is... Well, is one of these actually like a level... Alright, so this guy's a level 1, so if it's Freezing Trap or something like that, I could summon this guy back a little cheaper. Explosive. So that's what I kind of expected. So, Blue they're all dead. So, I'm going to do this attack. Do what I was going to do last time. I'm going to summon this. And play Deadly Poison. And now I have a 3/2 dagger with 2 charges on it, and unfortunately no minions, but... That's, you know, that's the way it is. So he's going to throw out the, you know, the 3/1 charge, and I think that he honestly was just trying to get good board control at the beginning there. Some charge hunter decks, you know, they still carry traps and things like that to kind of turn the tide. An explosive trap is one of the more common of the bunch. So my initial guess here is that he always intended to do it the way he did, and it just you know, he just was smart enough to not summon anything on turn. So I don't like this at all. I could backstab, but it's a waste of a damage. And I can't play SI Agent because I don't have a combo to go with it.
I wonder. Here we go.
I'm still going to play SI Agent, but I'm just not going to be able to get anything out of it. I just need the minion. So I'm in a really bad spot here, but luckily in 2 turns I'll get Sprint, which should give me a little bit more card draw. So hopefully, if I can't turn it around by then, I'll get what I need to. And I have Eviscerate and Backstab, which means I still have the cards that I need in order to try to turn it around if you start summoning like hordes of minions. I'm more of afraid of where my health is right now. I'm like 1 good Unleash the Hounds combo away from death. Kill command. All right, that's what I'm worried about here, because he could just have the cards that he needs to just chip away at me very, very quickly, and I will not be around very long if he does. So at this point, it is a Timberwolf out, which I do not want to see. Alright, so we're gonna be a little reckless here, but I think it's honestly necessary the way the game is. So I'm gonna do this.
Ha, this guy's toast. Hey, lights out.
Here we go.
I'm gonna get a 6-6 victory. So now he has something to worry about, and I'm gonna get sprint next turn. Now, is this the best move ever? Maybe not. A lot of times what you're gonna see is you're gonna see people use Van Cleef in situations where they're gonna get like 12-12 out of them. It's gonna look awesome. In this case, was it the best move? I think probably the best move I could have done. It's still causing to waste 2 cards to remove it, and it wasn't the best deal in the world, but I still have board control here because he had to use enough mana to keep him kind of at bay, and he's holding off. So I'm gonna sprint. I need the cards right now, to be completely frank, and I'll use this time to attack for another 6 here. So now I'm in position where I can still win this, and I think he's hoping that I was summoned here so we can unleash the hounds and win. I honestly think that's what he's hoping for right now. So I'm not planning on actually doing anything until I have lethal, which I think I may have next turn or the turn after if I play my cards right here. So yeah, I definitely will. I have, with Thalnos and the 2 Eviscerates, I could have lethal next turn if I have the chance to pull it off. So I only need one of these guys alive and to not die this turn, and I can win. And that's like why Sprint is such a good card. It's so easy to turn a game around when you can have a card draw of 4 cards all at once. And you need to be in the right place to do it. But he had a card advantage before, I think, of like 1 card, and now I do. And that changes a lot in terms of how the game, kind of ends up. So, all right, so that's not a good sign for him. Kill command. He's gonna kill one of them. All right, so that's gonna be games. We can almost see GG. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna attack with him. He has 10 health left,
Well played.
and then I'll play him. That's gonna set up the combo. 5 damage. 5 damage. And we turned it around. So that's probably one of the cheesiest ways that I've ever won with a rogue. Usually the way it works with rogue is you kind of have that outplay, out-trade thing. But I kind of had to play it weirdly there because they were kicking my ass in terms of damage, and I didn't want to die since I was at like 9 health for like 3 turns. So I kind of had to cheese him there and get like 13 damage in 1 turn, but that's fine. A win is a win, and right now we're at level 18, so that's a benefit for everybody. So hope everybody had a good time watching. That's going to be it for this episode, and what we're going to do is hopefully next time we'll try out a different deck. And I'm not creating any new decks right now. I'm just going to play the decks I have, but I will eventually start recreating some of these decks and maybe making some new ones. But for right now, we're just kind of sitting there, trying out some of the decks that we have already. They've been working out for me, at least in some capacity. This deck is one that I want to kind of flesh out a little bit more. I think it has some potential, but I can't seem to make some cards work in it as well as I hope that they could. So you're probably going to see a little bit more of this coming up. But for right now, Legendary is going to be our best deck, I think. Draxus is okay. Coincidence has been solid. And we'll, hopefully try out a new deck next time and see how it goes. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time.